Hi there, Serial Trader here. Just a quick update on weed. So today we came down to test the lows, and the ultimate low was at 31.81 from Friday. We went as low as 32.09, and then had a pretty good rejection of those lower prices, as illustrated by this long lower shadow on this daily candlestick. And we actually didn't close down significantly for the day, despite initially being down near the lows of yesterday, and actually slightly exceeding the lows of yesterday. Yesterday the low was 32.14, and today the low is 32.09. But you see this trend line, this wave 2-4 trend line as it's drawn, really still showing support off of that area. Also still showing support off this 618 relationship between A and C. And we're well, initially we just started touching the top of this corrective price channel, but then bounced off of that and came down. So really we're in between a very narrow band of support and resistance at this point, and it should break out soon. And I'm obviously favoring breakout to the upside in this scenario, but not discounting the possibility that, well, we could actually still dig a little deeper here. Although it's starting to look pretty good. It's really, I'll go the shorter term time frame, and just this initial wave count I was working, this 1, 2, 3, 4. It's possible you could have a little 1, 2, 3, 4 truncated 5 where the 5 didn't quite go as high as the 3, although I don't particularly like that. It's also, I mean, there's all sorts of possibilities with such a short-term pattern. It hasn't developed enough yet to be really clear, but we could also, since we did have a double bottom, you could also argue that this 5 of C ended just right here, and then we just had this initial move up for 1, okay, and then this is all just a deep wave 2, and it is deep. We went beyond the 786 retracement, which was 32.40, but the lows held, okay? So you could argue we just have a 1, extremely deep 2, and now potentially setting up for a third up, which would definitely get us out of this price channel that we're in, get above that upper boundary line. And then at that point, you'd be looking for further development in a 4, 4 or 5 sort of thing, and then maybe a larger 3-wave setback like that or something. But this is all just hypothetical at this point. There's really not enough development to see a high confidence pattern in play. But really, we can observe that we had a double bottom. Then we initially broke out and started getting above these short-term resistance levels. This was a big one to get over, was that 34.15. So we got above that. And then we came down, again testing this lower area. Double bottom held, and then we started reversing quite nicely towards the end of the session, and actually on increasing volume too. So that's a fairly decent sign, because typically big money, or institutional money if you will, tends to do their transacting towards the end of a trading session as opposed to the beginning. So if you had big volume coming in and price starting to come up towards the end of the day, that's a sign that the big boys may be showing up. So nothing wrong with that. And then, yeah, just going back to the daily candle. So that's just illustrated on this single bar as having that long lower shadow, rejecting those lower prices. Mentioned that before. And also on CGC, the daily, very much the same thing. We're just hugging this trend line that's connecting that 2-4 area. And we had a nice long lower shadow on the daily candlestick. So still looking promising that we have a potential bottom in place. But until we really get out and confirm here, really like to see us get above the daily T line, close above it, obviously get out of this corrected channel, close out of it. Then it'll start to be looking a lot more promising that, yes, we've got a hard pivot low, and we can be looking higher in the next impulse wave up. But still patiently waiting. If we do dig a little lower, I don't expect that much more downside if we do break the lows. It's looking very exhausted to the downside, but we shall see. All right, just a quick update. We'll check in as the week goes on. Serial trader signing off.